Welcome to my world. 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 Today I'm going to see, we're going to be working on my cooking utensil drawer. I need to declutter it and downsize on it further. A lot of it I use on a regular basis, and I don't want to get rid of anything, but as you can see, we need to sift through it to see what can be discarded. When you're decluttering and downsizing and discarding things, a rule of thumb is to make sure you don't use it anymore. It's not needed, even if it's only a few times a year, or if you have multiples of it. If you need multiples of certain types of things like a spatula, hang on to them. We're going to try to find a way to keep this organized. We've done this drawer many times here. If you're new, look for that subscribe button and smash on it. We like to do decluttering organization videos, especially around the holidays, so we can have everything in check for our home and make things easy and convenient when you're cooking and cooking big dinners. So you can just reach into the drawer and grab it and not have to think and have to search for things. Before we go into fast play, we're going to take everything out. That's zone 1. Zone 2, we'll assess the situation. Zone 3, we'll start decluttering and downsizing. And zone 4, wipe out the drawer. Zone 5, we'll put everything back in a category form. Let's get started. Zone 1, we're going to take everything out quickly, working fast as we can, about 5 minutes per zone. And we're going to get everything sorted as we're taking it out. So when we go through and assess the situation, we will know exactly what we're getting into and know what we have on hand. And then we're going to take care of the rest of the drawer and get this decluttering project done. I'm going to get rid of that vinyl because it's gross and just get everything out of the drawer and the cardboard that's attached to it from a previous decluttering project that failed. Now that everything is out of the drawer, we're in zone 2. And we're going to wipe it out. Just lukewarm water. You don't need any soapy hot water in this unless it's got stuck on food. So we're just going to wipe it out. And then we get rid of that cardboard from a failed project before that I mentioned. And we're going to replace the vinyl because it was gross and I pulled it out. Over time, you should replace the vinyl probably a couple times a year because it does get gross. Granted, you're putting clean utensils in the drawer. But as I said, food can fall into the drawer every time you open it as you are cooking. To the Dollar Tree for vinyl covering for your drawers. It's a hidden gem there. I love this because it doesn't have that peel off back and stickiness. You just cut it to how you measure it and lay it down flat on your drawers. And it keeps your drawers nice and pretty when you open them. Granted, that's really cluttery and you're not going to see it, but that's why we're doing the downsizing today. We're going to measure this and get it into the drawer. Open your drawer. And then you're going to measure it, and we just cleaned it, so we don't have to do that. And you're going to put it down the side. I like to keep these on hand, so when I need them, I have them. Now that the vinyl is laid down in the drawer, I have these containers that I've used in the past, and they're working out really well, so we're going to continue to use them. I'm going to play with it, place them in, see if I like them. And nothing's ever permanent when you're doing a project like this. You can always redo it, take things out until you find a way that really works for you and your family to make sure it's going to stay decluttered and organized. I have a bin from the Dollar Tree and I just dumped it out because, as I've mentioned a couple times, food can fall in there as you're cooking. And as you see here, I'm playing around with it, getting things organized to the way I like it. Then I'm going to turn them all vertical rather than horizontal and continue on with the decluttering project. Always play around with it. Nothing's ever permanent. And then I like to open it and close it to get a good visual on the situation. Now we're going to go through everything on the stovetop and counter and see what we can declutter and discard. Onward to zone 3. Now we're going to take a look at everything on the stovetop and counter here. This is everything that was in my drawer. I mentioned before I was going to discard one of the pumpkin cutters, but my kids do like to carve pumpkins even though they're 13 and 19. And I'm going to keep them in case they both want to do it on Halloween. Jacqueline can be indifferent at times, so it all depends on what's going on, and I want to have it just in case. Now we're going to go through all the utensils really quickly, holding things for a few seconds at a time. If they don't spark joy, you start your declutter, purge, and toss pile. I see some things right away that I want to get rid of, like that butcher knife that we never use. I'm keeping the pumpkin scoops, the ice cream scoops. I'm going to keep the scoop for baking. One of the potato peelers I will keep. I'm going to keep the swatted spoon, and David really likes that. I'm going to get rid of one of the tongs, the one that doesn't close all the way anymore. I'll put a rubber band around it, as you'll see later in the clip, to keep it closed when we're not using it. And generally just get rid of things that we don't use anymore or sparks joy or I've gotten over. I love utensils from the Dollar Tree, and I tend to buy them. And even if I have them, I still want it, and I get it anyway because it's $1.25. Now you're trying to declutter and downsize, and try to stay away from things as overbuying, and keep a list handy when you go into the stores so you don't overbuy and only buy what you need. And this way you'll save money too, and that's being frugal and budget friendly. We're continuing with this mess here and getting rid of everything that we're not going to keep. I'm going to separate them to the other side of the kitchen, and then we'll take a look in the drawer once again. On to zone 4, we're going to quickly put things back. I'm going to put the smaller to medium sizes directly in the middle, knives all the way to the right, so they stay in place and stay in one side of the drawer. The clothes tongs are going to go there. I like that because it also acts as a whisk. And then I'm going to move it around a few times until I get it to the way I want it. Always play around, as I've mentioned earlier in the video, until you have things exactly the way you want it, so it looks good when you open the drawer. Got the spatulas all the way to the left, some more knives to the right, the ladles. I do use both ladles, so we're going to keep them. The tongs that don't close, David really likes, so I just got a simple solution and closed it up with a band that I had in my drawer. I'm going to put it to the back because he does use it on occasion, and I'm going to keep the whisk one because it is very useful. I can use it for baking, and I can use it for getting things out of the air fryer. I'm going to continue putting things back into the drawer, and as I mentioned, always play around with what you are doing so it's to your satisfaction. I have a bag here with things that we use with the stand mixer and my apple core. That's an extra one. I like to keep both of them in case one goes dull, and then I have one because I make applesauce throughout the year from real apple in my stand mixer. My children love my homemade applesauce. There are videos in our Cook With Me playlist on homemade applesauce, so check that out. Usually around the fall time, I do a lot of homemade applesauce, so it's good to keep two on hand. And I picked them up at the Dollar Tree before they went to $1.25. And as I said, I'm going to keep that extra orange scoop just in case Jacqueline decides she wants to carve a pumpkin again when Azara is home on occasion. And it's both scoops we keep just in case, because one has gone missing in the past, and that way we have one for when my youngest wants her ice cream. And just finished getting everything back into the drawer. Successful. We purged more than 10 items, and that really helped the drawer become less cluttery and more pleasing to the eyes when you open it, and you won't be rummaging, spending valuable time looking for things. Anything with a tag on it that's new will either be donated or purged. Here is the after of the drawer. If you're new, we do giveaways every 100 subscribers. We give away a $10 amount in gift cards. That looks so much better. I can see everything in the drawer, and I got rid of quite a few of the utensils that we don't use or need or spark joy anymore. So we decluttered, and we've been decluttered almost 10 items. And you can reach right in and grab what you need. And I put all the knives together, all the smaller size utensils in the middle, and spoons, ladles, and spatulas to the left, and less commonly used but used to the back, using the egg carton containers as trays and what I have around the house to save money and being frugal. The giveaways are listed down below of what gift cards we do. If you've won in the past 60 days, you have to wait out 60 days. If you won, you don't answer within 2, you'll be disqualified, and we're not responsible for lost or stolen prizes by mail. We have a Let Us Eat newsletter. You can email me, countryboots1268@yahoo.com. Our social sites are linked down below. And so are our playlists. Thank you for your continuing ongoing support. Don't forget to subscribe, and happy decluttering. Happy holidays from Let Us Eat.